Hello everyone, this is the FPL trio. I'm Pulkit, and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts Daniel and Michael. Michael, how's it going?
It's going very good. It's a Friday here in Sydney, so very excited for the weekend full of EPL and worry about not having Holland. How about you, Daniel?
It's going great as well. Yeah, it's a Friday everywhere. So happy Friday, guys. Excited to be back here and talk FPL. Pulkit, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Friday nights are always exciting, especially when FPL is already here, and so really good. So in this video, we basically continue with our match review series, and we'll review the Manchester United versus Fulham game, the first game of this Premier League season. So as we can see on the SofaScore website, Manchester United won 1-0, a very unexpected goal scorer in the game, but we can dive into the stats and look more into it as well. So looking into the overall stats, expected goals for Manchester United were 2.43, which is huge, versus Fulham just had 0.44. And I think XGC wise, I think Manchester United had the best one. 2.44 is probably the lowest for this week, maybe apart from this Newcastle game, but that was red card and so on. So a normal game, this is the best one. Then looking at other stats as well, big chances 4 versus 14 total shots. There were shots from Fulham, but of course not that great. Goalkeeper saves wise, 2 only from Manchester United, so couldn't even get that save point for Onana. Then rest of the stuff is basically okayish or comparable, but Manchester United looks like they dominated the game pretty much. Anything to add from you, Daniel?
Yeah, no, I mean, as you mentioned, they did have two more expected goals. They were dominating the full game, but then Bruno missed a few chances as well. And I mean, they did deserve the win. It just came like super late in the game and from their substitute Xerxes. But yeah, I guess we can move on.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
also quickly have a look at the shots, which is a bit interesting because you mentioned Bruno had a good game, and we can also see it from the shot. So basically, Bruno had this shot, this shot, this shot. So he basically was so close, and I'm sure his XG would have been also higher.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, all right. Now let's look at the average player positions for both the teams. So starting with Manchester United, the most ahead player is Mason Mount, and on a parallel line is Marcus Rashford, and basically Bruno is also almost close, but their heat maps are looking good for pretty much all of them. I think Mount also had a close chance that he missed.
Yeah, agreed with that. Might be any one specific you want to talk about?
Yeah, like Fernandez, Rashford, and Mel is probably the three suitable picks from Man United. And I know saying Rashford might be controversial, or they will say why, but if you look at his heat map, Rashford, he's getting a lot more in the box there, or just outside the box. So he's trying to get involved more, and it'll just be a confidence game for him for the next few games. If he can get that assist where the heat map is, like 1 or 2 assists in the next 3, 4 games, that will boost his confidence, and I think he can be a good choice in the next few game weeks.
Yeah,
Right.
agreed. But I think he's more of a wait and watch. I think there are better players at the moment. He had a very bad season last year, so probably jumping on him might not be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just want to add to that. You were saying that Bruno Fernandez's expected goals would have been pretty high. I can confirm it's actually 1 point expected goals. So I guess, I mean, non-Bruno owners are lucky he did not return or even haul. He could have scored two. But yeah, it looks like he's lively in the United team. He could cause problems for opposition, and he could even be a good FPL option down the line if he keeps performing that well.
And
Yeah.
like if you see here in the heat map, although he was put in the lineup as a forward, he seems to be playing as like a false nine just outside the box. That third there. So it means it's maybe expected that he gets more assists along the way because he'll be holding the ball up more, and Garnacho, Rashford, or Mount will be passing by to get those goals.
Yeah, but I think he took a lot of shots as well.
Six
Yeah.
shots, two big chances missed, the two
Yeah.
one-on-ones.
The
At
one
the
on
end.
ones.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he can, if he continues playing in the role that he played against Fulham. I think he could also get goals and could be a really good asset, especially at 8.5 million. Also, Mazarui is being quite popular. And actually, till yesterday, I was wondering why he's being preferred so much, because we have another player, Martinez, in the team who is also 4.5 million. But I think Mazarui got all bonus points in the game, if I'm not wrong. And this
He got,
is
yeah,
quite an
he got
achievement.
sports.
And at 4.5 million, maybe he could be a good asset to own.
Yeah, I'm just confirming that now. Yeah, it was Zirkzee got 3, and then Mazraoui was just 1 point behind him, like to get the 3. He got 2, and then Diogo Dalot and Lisandro Martinez both got 1. So yeah, he looked like he might be a bonus points man, the fullback, and even like, I think he had like less than 0.1 expected assists. So like, it's not like he was creating a lot of chances. It's just like his ball recoveries, his passes, getting fouled. That's what was getting him all these bonus points. So he's someone to monitor at 4.5 if he keeps that up, and Manu like solidify their defense a bit.
Yeah, agreed. Right. Any interest in Mount at the moment?
I wouldn't say so. Not personally, at least not about you guys.
It's just a watching see for me at the moment. I mean, I know he's probably the third pick for me. Fernandez and Rashford's still the top two watching see.
For me, actually, Fernandez and maybe one of the defenders would be the top two. And I don't see myself traveling up on United as soon. But if that becomes option, it will be comparison between how Rashford and Mount are playing at that time. All right, then also look at Fulham. So this is the Fulham average positioning. And Muniz is someone that both me and Michael have. And he basically has a presence in the box. We can see here from the heat map. I think he had a good shot as well and could have scored. So let's see how it goes in the upcoming game weeks with him.
Yeah, so like if you say he's gonna be like a Haaland, I think in terms of positioning, where it's just a typical number 9 poacher. So if Smith Rowe starts, getting those passes right in that final third, and now Anderson is coming in to the Fulham team, he should be getting much better crosses and long passes into the box. And if he stays where he is, like in this heat map, I believe he can score that 1 or 2 goals every so often. And at 6 million, he's definitely good at enabler.
Yeah. And I think in the last game, Smith Rowe did play quite deep. And Andres Pereira was actually the one who was quite attacking. And the heat map shows here, he's also taking all the corners, shows his presence in the box. But as Michael, you pointed out, Anderson coming into the team from Palace, he probably would control the game better in the back. And that may allow Smith Rowe to maybe advance a bit further.
Yeah, definitely.
Then any other player, Adama Traore, the same old Wolves I could visualize with him. I remember one instance where he basically ran, swept past Martinez, like he was not even there. But then the end ball was missing.
Yeah, and like he looked pretty fast. I mean, he always does. And I mean, he's a nice player to watch. Just probably not to own FPL.
Yeah, exactly. And I think probably if things go right, we could see some sort of pairing forming between Muniz and Adama Traore, like it was in Wolves back then, like with Jimenez and Traore. So what could be interesting.
Well, no. I mean, it will be. I don't think anyone's really considering him, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
that were the main ones from the Manchester United Fulham game. Fulham, still the key ones are Muniz, Pereira could be an option, but at the moment, maybe Smith Rowe or Pereira both have 5.5 million. And from Manchester United, it's Bruno only at the moment, maybe a defender, 4.5 million.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I mean, including Michael. You own Castagna, right? Timothy Castagna didn't play last game. Are you still gonna be starting him, or what's your plan with him?
So my plan with him, I was thinking of signing him depending on like the press contract is, but now I'm thinking put Leaf Davis in to start just as a differential, because see all this news about Haaland and triple captaining him. Just looking back at last season, every time the FPL community jumped on, those triple captaining in the same game week, it didn't seem to work out so well. So hoping that that trend continues last season.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Yep. And final thing, just not as a option for our teams, but do you think Zirkzee gets rewarded for his goal and starts maybe pushing Bruno then behind as a 10 or something?
Yeah, I mean, I think he could. If Bruno goes as a 10 and then Mount Ruff to the back, that they can have a traditional striker until Hoyland comes back. I think Josie, he just signed this summer, so he could be a nice menu option, not an FPL option. I know someone actually who owns him for some reason, and then he scored this game. But yeah, that's what I think. Michael, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, he is still settling into the Man United team, and he came in with a bang, scoring that winner. So I think that this early in the season, he's probably not someone that you should have in your team. But again, if I can see his minutes increasing week by week, and if he does play more minutes and gets better, by game week 6, 7, 8, I might consider him if his minutes start increasing and he starts playing better.
Yeah. And also, the surprising thing was Garnacho not starting. Is there some news about him? I thought he would be the main player in
Uh,
that team.
he's still pretty highly owned. I mean, last I checked, he was like 17% owned yesterday. I don't know if that, but yeah, it's interesting because I mean, Mason Mount wasn't playing such a prominent role last season, right? So maybe his inclusion back in the team is gonna switch things up. We'll see, I guess, for this upcoming game when they do another because a lot of people have him. So if he doesn't, not on the regular, I'm sure everyone's gonna get rid of him, right?
Yeah, yeah. But at the moment, do you have any suggestion for people who own him?
I guess wait and see for the press conference before doing any moves. I don't know if he's gonna come up, but yeah, maybe don't sell him right now. Wait and see, unless you don't have any bench coverage, of course. That's what I would say. Any thoughts from you guys? Any one of you?
No, I agree with you. Wait and see.
He's a wait and see at the moment, unless you have injuries in the team and have no subs, and you really want someone to start and hit a big goal. He is probably a sell, but apart from that, just keep him as Man United have pretty good fixtures over the next 5 game weeks, where Liverpool the only hard game they have.
Yeah. So I guess we are all on the same page. With that, I think we covered pretty much all the open points regarding the key players in this game. So let's end it. Thank you everyone for listening, and please like, share and subscribe.